Hey guys, it's Rob here. Today we got another mechanical mod to do review on, and this is another tube mod. First off, I got to say, just like on my last video, I did do the Magma RDA, and I did, after I started looking back, somebody mentioned to me, I did start looking back, and I did call it that it was made by, the name on it was Paradigm. Sorry about that. It is Paradigm. But, you know, we all make mistakes. That is just one of my mistakes. And I've made plenty of mistakes on my videos. And I appreciate everybody letting me know and stuff, which is good. That's what we're all here for. Alright. So, it's good when somebody lets me know. It allows me to put a comment in that I did mess up. So, once again, like I say, thank you guys for being there and letting me know, because once again I do mess up. I'm not perfect, and I appreciate you guys leaving little comments and letting me know. That way I can at least put a comment in there and say, hey, I messed up on this. This is what it actually was. So I mean, I've had it a few times where somebody did say, oh, that ain't that type of context, which I did have to go back in it, and I did leave a comment and say, talk about how I messed up. I do not edit these videos. I do put intros and stuff like that on them, but I do not edit and take things out of my videos. If I mess up, I go ahead and put it in there. Alright, so with that being said, we're going to do another mechanical mod here, and that mod is called the Oni mod, and I did get this once again from the group buy with Graham Vickers. And here's the mechanical mod right here, the Oni mod. Now this is, from what I've heard, I've never owned a Enzonic tube mod before, but from what I've seen and reading up, they do say this is the clone of the Enzonic. I'm not really for sure. Once again, I have not had an Enzonic, so I really do not know. But from the pictures I've seen, they do look pretty close to the same. Alright, so this is going to be the review of the Oni, and this is from vxla. This is the box here. Okay, so let's take another vape. I'm really enjoying this Copper Cartel. I do have the Tobe Addy on this, and you can tell I do have this all drilled out. Both sides are all drilled out. Now I gotta say, I do like the Delrin top caps. Now, I think they do make it for the Stell Air and stuff like that too. So if you want to get more airflow, because we all know, you know, to get nice clouds you gotta have airflow. So I'm really enjoying this little thing here. I tried to drill it out of the steel top, and I did have a little bit of issue because I do not have a drill press at home. I would have to take that to work with me and use the drill presses and stuff like that, and the lathe and the mill at work to do it. But I went ahead and got this little Delrin one. That way I could practice with it, try it. It's just cheap. Just try the thing, see what it does. But I gotta say, drilling them holes in there has really made this Tobe Addy real nice. Good vapor production off that. So let's put that aside. This is going to talk about the Oni mod here, and once again I have read up, they did say this was the Enzonic clone. I don't know. I have not owned an Enzonic. Some people say it's not, some people say it is. I don't know, but here it is. Nice little engraving right there, and then you got it down here on the bottom part of the tube. Alright, so this is a telescoping mod. This does do 18350, 18500, 18650, and you can use it with the kick. This did come with 2 tubes also, and once again this is telescoping. So let's go ahead and dive down here on the table, and we'll take a look at what we got here. Alright guys, once again this is the box that it did come in. And as you can tell, it does say VXLA, or VXLA, yeah, I think that's what it says. Vape for Angels. Alright, so nice little box it came in. And there's a little plastic wrap that the mod did come in. And then it has this nice little foam padding in here. And if you pull this foam padding off, it's got a little leather. It does have the 18350 tube and 18500 tube right here. I do have the 18650 tube on it right now. So it does come with both tubes. So you can run it in 18350, 500, or 650, and you can put a kick in there. Alright, so let's put that all aside. Here it is once again. Now, this is a nice little mechanical mod. I do have a few little things on it that you do have to do a few things to get it to work to your likings, and to get it's mainly with the bottom firing switch. So let's start over here. Let's take the RDA off here. Alright, so here you go. You got your top piece, you got your top part of the tube, and the threads are pretty nice threads. Pretty nice threads. Almost all your tube mods, your telescoping mods, have a little bit of squeaking, but they're not grindy or crunchy, if you know what I'm talking about. They're not grindy or crunchy. Pretty well smooth, in my opinion. Just either you can hear a little squeaky right there, but nothing bad. Most of your tube mods are like that. Alright, and then we'll take off the bottom part. So once again, we got 5 pieces here. Now, this is a brushed stainless steel, so it is not a fingerprint magnet. Nice, smooth threads, besides a little bit of squeaking because it is a telescoping mod. This does have magnets. It does have a magnet switch, and it does have silver-plated pins. So this is silver-plated pins. So once again, it does have a nice little insulator right there. Now this is a true floating pin. There is no spring or anything on this. It just floats. Alright, as you can see on there, just floats in there. So it does have a nice top piece. You do got little vents in there for airflow. But most time when you do mechanical mods, most of the time we do a K-Fun or something like that, an RDA, so we don't have to worry too much about the airflow on this. But it is nice that it does have airflows for your regular tanks. Alright. So here's the middle tube part here. As you can tell, nice threads. They're not real thin and a ton of threads. They're pretty beefy threads. So, and then you got your top part of the tube, nice threads. Once again, nice engraving right there. Nice engraving. And then you got your bottom part. Now this does have the magnet in it. As you can tell, it does have silver plated in there, contact, and it does just kind of float in there. Now you do have the magnets right there. Alright, so here's the bottom piece. Now this is reverse threaded locking ring. Can lock it like that right there. Now one thing I've noticed, we're going to do this before I put it back together, is as you're locking this, it does have a tendency to back the switch out. The switch does have a tendency of backing out on you. Alright, it does take a few times to back out, but it does back out. Alright, see how easy that was just to take that off? So that is one of the cons, and that is the big con, is that this does back out. So we're going to go ahead and put some blue Loctite on this. We're going to go ahead and put some blue Loctite, so it's not too, we don't want to use red or anything, but we are going to put a little blue Loctite on this to help that out, to try to keep it from going. So that is a con on this, that the locking switch does kind of unthread on us as you're locking and unlocking. So we'll put some blue Loctite on there, and hopefully that helps it out and we won't have no more issues with this. Alright guys, So we'll work that back and forth in there. Now also another thing, if you do have this lock this in real tight, it does cause that to kind of crunch a little bit. Alright, does kind of crunch a little bit like that. So there we go. It's a little bit better. If it was me, I'd put a little, I don't know, a little bit of Vaseline or something on that to do it. But we'll see what it does once it's on the mod here. So that is a con on this mechanical mod, is that the switch does start undoing itself at the more and more times you lock it and unlock it. Alright, and also once you get it all the way tight, it does have a little bit of crunchiness to it. So I recommend, if you're going to do it, put a little bit of Vaseline or something like that on there to get it to not have that. Alright, I figure after I work on it long enough, it'll finally clear itself up. Alright, and you do have the little ghost emblem type thing on there, and you got your serial batch number, and you do got this little pink whatever it is, ruby or whatever. But that's another con on this, is if you set this up on the table, if you have this set up on the table, it'll never sit completely flush. See, it's always got a little bit of wobbly to it. They didn't need to put that little ruby on there, that pink jewel. They should never even put that on there. So because it does stick out, as you can see, it does stick out, so it'll never sit flush. So that's the only two cons that I have. Both cons are mainly with the firing switch. Alright, but other than that, it is a decent mod. You do have your little squeaking on the tube, but once again, that's your normal common stuff. And we'll put this on here. We'll reverse it. Let's see what it, see, even with the, so we got it a little bit crunchy right now. There we go. As you guys could tell, I believe as you use it more, it will stop doing that. But that's because I tighten it all the way up and put Loctite on it. So I've noticed if you tighten this all the way up, it does do that. See that? So it works okay like that right there. So all in all, because of this switch, could be a safety issue, could lock in. I'm not really that pleased with this mod here. I mean, it does work real good, don't get me wrong, it does fire and everything, and you can lubricate this. Me personally, I have no problems with lubricating this and getting this to work to my standards and make it work every time. Alright, I don't have a problem with that, but some people do not like that. So alright, let's go ahead and put the battery in. Just thought I'd point that part out to you. Now let's go ahead and stick the RDA on here. As you can tell, watch the pin, that is floating, so that does move out. And then if you tip it over, it'll just pull out, and you can push it in and out. Alright, put it up on the battery like that. Let's put the top part on. Now this tube also does have venting. You do have venting right there for the battery, and you do have venting down below for the battery. So you basically just put this on, and then you just tighten this down until it's tight. Everything's nice and tight. There you go. Does fire. And once again, that switch really needs to get lubed up. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and lube it up after this, but I just want to show you guys what you're going to be getting if you buy one of these. is the switch is not all that great once again. As long as you leave the locking switch a little bit undone, not all the way unlocked. Let's see, it's all the way unlocked. Now it sticks. Now just a little bit unlocked, or a little bit back to the locking position, it works a lot better. So if you get one, I recommend Loctiting the magnet part in there, the bottom switch, and lubricating it. Put some Vaseline on it and lubricate it up. Alright, so let's see what it does. See, as it's sitting there with that little jewel, look at it. I'm not very happy with that. So does have a crappy, I mean, the whole bottom switch design is kind of crappy. Alright, so let's go ahead and put some liquid in this. Alright, go ahead and put some liquid in there. Let's take the locking ring off, give it a few little hits. It does produce good vapor though. It does hit real nice. I think it does have a little bit. Let's go back up here and talk about it. Let's take a vape on it. Dang it. The freaking fan's on, just blowing the clouds right in front of the camera. So, alright guys, that is the Oni mod that I did get from the group buy, same buy I got the cartel in. Now this was from a different company, the vxla, and I gotta say, it does hit real nice if you're doing sub-ohm. And I did put a 1.2 coil on this, and it really had a hard time firing. Okay, so as long as you do sub-ohming on it, this thing does fire real nice. All but the magnetic bottom switch. When you start reversing or when you start taking and you lock the switch down, it used to back the switch out. Alright, but once I put Loctite on there, I should not have no more problems with that on the Loctite. But also with it all the way down like that and tightened up like that, it did make it a little bit crunchy, a little bit stick, made it stick a little bit. So I will put a little bit of Vaseline in there also to help that out. So I will get it to work to my standards. Most mods you do have to do something to, but I just wanted to show you guys exactly. I didn't want to do anything to this. I wanted you to show you exactly what you're going to be getting and what it does. So other than the bottom switch, and it doesn't stand up, it kind of swivels, it'll probably fall over all the time even with your locking ring on. Other than that, it does work real well. Do I recommend this? Only to you if you want to do the stuff I'm talking about with the bottom switch. Because other than that, it does hit real nice, and it is a nice mod. You just can't really do like high ohm coils on this, because I noticed it didn't really hit very well. So I had to go down to sub-ohming. At sub-ohming levels, this mod does work real well. But once again, if you're going to get one, Loctite the switch so it don't come out, and put a little bit, what I'm going to do is put a little Vaseline around there so it makes it more free. Or if you don't want to and you're not worried about that, I do believe after so many presses it will free up. See, it's already starting to free up already. It's going right back. It's not sticking in or anything like that. So I believe after so many times it will eventually free up. So alright guys, that's it for the Oni mod review. And once again, this does not say it's a clone, but a lot of people say it's the clone of the Enzonic. So I will mention this as a clone, because from everything I have seen, that everybody has actually said that it is a clone from the Enzonic. So I will have to say that this is a clone. Alright. So alright guys, till next time.